What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about the 8 best wide receiver drills that you guys can do in 2022. Let's get started. All right, guys, so the first drill we're going to be talking about is going to work on your stick at the top of a route, like if you're running a post route, doing a move off the line of the scrimmage, whatever it is when you have to make that hard cut in the grass, okay? So now what you're going to need is you're going to need pretty much just 4 cones, evenly spaced out about a yard apart, and what you're going to be working on is just going through the cones and working on that upper half and you sticking in the cone. So what it's going to look like is you're going to come off here, you're going to start out, you're going to have your feet somewhat active, and you're going to cut. And you're really going to treat these 4 cones, and you can put it on a yard line if you would like you have to step over the line, because like if I'm working a release or whatever, maybe move at the top of the route, when I cut, I have to step outside of the DB's frame to get him to move. I can't make this like shortcut where I'm just chopping my feet and not actually stepping outside of his frame to get him to move off that platform. So that's what we want to think about while we're rolling through this. I'm going to show you how the drill's going to look full speed as well, so it'll make a little bit more sense. But when you're rolling through these cones, you're just going to stick, upper half, head and shoulders are moving as you cut. Make sure we're striking the ground on that arch of my foot to get that nice clean explosion out of there. I'm going to show you this thing's going to look full speed. All right, guys, I also want to talk to you about a great opportunity that we're going to be offering this offseason. We're going to be traveling to 9 different cities across the United States, okay? So we're going to be coming to Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee, and then Los Angeles, California. So we're really excited to get out. We're going to be doing 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training camps. So for 2 days, you're going to be at the opportunity to work with us 4 hours per each day. That's 8 hours of training. We're going to be doing specific one-on-one training. We're going to be doing one-on-ones, 7-on-7, everything you guys can think of to improve your skills as a wide receiver and as a quarterback. We're going to be having DBs out there, obviously, to be doing one-on-ones and 7-on-7. And fellas, we're limiting spots to only about 10 to 12 people per position group, per age group. So we really want to be able to coach you guys on each rep. You will be coached on each rep with my staff, myself. We will all be there. So if you guys want some more information on our camps, how you guys can sign up for that, check out that very first link in the description. Let's get back to this video. All right, guys, so the next drill that we're going to be talking about is a great drill to work on your guys' snap down at the top of the break when you guys have to drop your hips into a route. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to need the same 4 cones. You really only need 2 cones. You don't even need cones for that matter. You can just do this on a line. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand with your hands behind your back, and you're just pretty much just going to fall and catch yourself with that trigger step at the top of a snap down. So I'm going to show you it's going to look full speed. So what you want to do, you want to go 2 sets of 4 on each leg. So you're going to have your hands behind your back. You're going to stand maybe on this yellow line's a good gauge for this, and you're simply going to fall and just catch yourself and shoot that leg through and snap down. So what that works on is that trigger step at the top of the break when you guys have to use your hips to slow down. What a lot of guys do at the top of the break is they'll run up into a route, they'll slow down, then they'll drop their hips, right? When you guys slow down, a DB is going to slow down, and that's an indicator on the route. You have to make sure that we are selling vertical, and the only way for me to slow down while running full speed is by being violent with my hip drop. You look at receivers like Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley, all those guys who are explosive with their routes, they all have that trigger step at the top of the break. So that's what we want to be focusing on. So when you have your hands behind your back and you're falling forward and your chest is leading, that's essentially what you're doing at the top of a route. You want to be able to run fast, but also you want a good pad level. A lot of receivers is they'll raise their pad level up right before they're about to make a break. That's an indicator. You're letting a DB know when you're about to make a break. So we want to make sure I keep good pad level and drop. So this is a great drill to work on that. Easy warm-up drill that you guys can do. Again, hands behind your back, fall, leading chest forward, and let the hips slow you down to catch you. I'm going to show you this thing's going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill that we're going to be talking about kind of builds off of that snap fall drill that we just talked about, okay? So what this drill is, you literally don't need any equipment. This is something you could do on your own. You don't need anybody else with you. This is going to work on that hip drop and you being able to self-fade, okay? So there's 3 different phases to every single route. You have the vertical self phase, you have the explosion phase, and then you have the acceleration phase. So for example, let's say I'm running a comeback route right? So like, let's say it's a 15 back to 12 comeback. For 15 yards, I am selling vertical, chin is down, pad levels forward, in full stride, full speed to be able to get that DB to backpedal and move off the platform, right? Then second phase is going to be the hip drop, right? That's what we're kind of working on with that trigger step drill. Then the third phase is me accelerating out of the break. So this drill works on phase 1 and 2. We're going to get into phase 3 in a second, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to be about 20 yards away. You could do this with a partner, but you don't need a partner, or you could do it off of steps. But you're literally going to run as hard as you can, and somebody's going to give you a drop call. So when you hear a drop call, you're going to drop your hips down, get to that good explosive position to work on you guys not anticipating the break. That's what this works on. So when you guys are running a route, we talked about it before. Everybody loves to slow down, then they drop their hips. Indicator, right? We got to make sure that we are selling fade and you use your hips to drop you down, and it's sudden. It's got to be sudden and it has to be explosive. So that's what this drill is going to be working on. So you're going to take off full speed. Somebody yells drop. Immediately when you hear the drop call, you drop. Or if you don't have a partner to do this with you, maybe go off a certain step, like your third inside step. That's when you snap your hips down to get out of this route. I'm going to show you how this thing is going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill they're going to be talking about is going to work on the acceleration out of a route where you have to drop your hips. Okay, so it's that third phase that we were talking about. Okay, so again, phase one, we're trying to sell fade. Phase two, I'm trying to create energy by either dropping my hips or breaking off a speed cut. And now we're going to show you guys some speed cut drills after this specific drill. But this one is to work on your acceleration out of the break. So what you're going to do is you need a line. That's all you need. You don't need any kind of equipment. What you're going to do is you're going to do that same fall into the break that we love to talk about. But you're instead of taking that one trigger step, you're going to take a transitional second step. So you can find the line. I'm going to be on this yellow line right here. All you're going to do is you're going to fall, you're going to catch yourself, then your second step is going to happen right after the first step, and that second step is going to push you out and you're going to drive out. So again, it's like a fall 1, 2, and you're breaking off of that second step to drive. You could do that either direction. You could fall into it and go left, right. You could fall into it and go right, left. That works on you being able to get low, but also stay low at the top of the break to get that speed out of the route. You want to think of every single route like it's a race back to the ball. You're racing the DB back to the ball. So for example, like let's say I have to run, let's use a comeback for example again, right? Like I got to run a 15-yard comeback. When I drop into the comeback, I don't want to drop low and then pop up. Because when I pop up, I'm going to drift off of the route. I'm not going to make that tight change of direction in that tight cut. I want to drop, I want to get low, but I also want to stay low because it's like a 40-yard dash. When you get to that low explosive position, you could drive out and shoot back to that ball and really accelerate. So that's what we're focusing on with this drill. So when you fall into this break, you got to get low, stay low with the second step, and then be able to drive straight down that line. That's how we want to do it on this yellow line. So I'm going to show you how this thing's going to look full speed. All right, guys, so this next drill is going to build off of that run and drop drill where I had you guys run and then drop on that drop command, and then the acceleration drill that we just worked on, okay? So now this drill is going to be a combination of both. Like I said, you're going to be doing that same run and drop. Somebody's giving you a drop call, but then you want to get out of the route to work on that third phase of the route, okay? So what it's going to be is I'm going to have come out here. Somebody's going to give you a go call. You can go at your own pace, and again, you could go off a certain step if you don't have a partner to do it with you, but it's better with a partner. You're going to be running full speed, give you a drop call. When I give you the drop call, you're going to drop your hips down, and then we're concerned with actually running out of the break and actually exchanging out of it. I'm gonna show you it's gonna look full speed, it's gonna make more sense, but the biggest thing is you wanna treat this the exact same way as you treated the first two drills, right? Because on the first drill where you were coming to a complete stop, you were running and you just had to drop your hips to slow down completely. Now on this specific drill, you still have to drop your hips, still get to that low explosive spot, but now we're concerned with accelerating out of the break and widening the distance with the DB. It's about selling fade, it's about dropping suddenly and then accelerating. So it's the same exact thing, but instead you're gonna run a route off of it. Somebody could throw you a ball, however you want to think of it. I'm going to show you this thing's going to look full speed. All right, guys, this next drill is going to be a great drill to work on your 45-degree angle cut when using a speed cut. So this is going to help you guys with a post route, maybe like a diamond release slant route, a corner route, whatever it is, but anytime you're having to break on a 45-degree angle, not that 90-degree angle. So what you're going to do is you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of cones. You may not be able to see that last cone, but I will show you guys when I show you the example full speed. But you're going to be literally just running back and forth from each cone, zigzagging through, breaking off of a single cut. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to start out here at this cone. So it's only going to be 3 steps from cone to cone. It's going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 again to that last cone. Now, the reason why we go on 3 steps, because when you guys get to that next level, you guys go to college, everything's going to be off of steps. It's no longer going to be, hey, go run a 10-yard post. It's going to be, hey, you're running a post off of your third outside step. And that third outside, you got to put your foot in the ground and then be able to go. Now, the point of this drill is to work on that ankle stability, knee stability, leg strength, to be able to absorb force on that cut leg to get you out of the route. So what I don't want is you guys to come up to each cone and go like this. 1, 2, 3, and you slow down. I want it to be 2 hard steps to each cone, and you're breaking off of the third step. So I'm coming off here, it's 1, 2, 3, and the cut is going to be the thing that changes direction for you. That's how you guys get more separation at the top of a route when you don't let the DB know what you're doing. Let's say you're out of the slot and you have to run a corner route. Imagine running up to a safety and then just rounding it. and then just going and then braking. That's like slowing down or rounding it on this specific drill. You want to be able to run up to a safety and then bam, the cut is what gets you out of there. The cut is what changes direction for you, not your body language, giving that indicator on the route like we talked about in the very beginning. So this is a great drill to work on that. So again, you're starting, maybe your left foot's up, you're going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right again. I'm gonna show you this thing's gonna look full speed. All right, guys, the next drill we're going to be talking about is a great press release drill that wide receivers can do to take their skills to that next level. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 3 sets of cones, or just 3 cones in general. If you maybe don't have cones, use tennis shoes, use something, be creative, just some kind of object right there that you guys have to work on restacking the defender. And then you're going to need a towel, or you could use a football or something that you have to hit with your hand. But again, this is going to work on your restack, and you can use on any kind of press release that you want to work, except maybe like a slide or a diamond release, but anything that's stationary, right? So the release we're going to talk about is a split release. So split release is exactly how it sounds. So what it is where you're going to be here and you're literally just splitting your feet. You're bringing your back foot even with your front foot, and your front foot's going out. So it's just a split. You see guys like Antonio Brown use this a lot, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, they all use this type of release. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to split release. We're going to have my left foot up. We're going to be working on an outside release. We're going to split. Now our goal is to get around the 3 cones, dip the shoulder, and pick up the towel. Now that works on you guys doing a shoulder reduce technique to restack against press. Everybody knows when it's press coverage, the goal is to be able to restack the defender, get on top, and make a move. Like let's say I have to run post, for example, and I get press coverage. I hit him with a split release, they're inside shade. I restack, I get over the top, then I can hit him with a move at the top, get him to bite, whatever it is, but it makes life a lot easier when you restack a defender. That's what that C pattern is for, and that is what that towel pickup is for, to work on that shoulder reduce. So if the DB does get hands, you just shrug him off and dip underneath. So again, how it should look, I'll show you how it'll look full speed as well. But we're gonna be here, we are splitting my feet, I'm bursting off, I'm dipping the shoulder, I'm staying tight around the cones, then I'm going to pick this towel up and burst up. A great way to work on a restack, and you could use any kind of press release that is stationary on this drill. I'm gonna show you it's gonna look full speed. All right, guys, so the last drill we're going to be talking about is a great release for an inside shade off coverage DB, okay? So when you have a DB who's maybe like 2 to 3 yards off, the route we're going to be simulating is like a goal line fade, but where like, let's say you're pressed up and the DB is inside shade of you about 2 to 3 yards back. So what do you want to do in that case? Like, let's say you have to run a fade route, an outside breaking route. Do you just want to take the outside release, take what the DB's given you, and let him get right into your hip and force you outside? Hell no, you don't want to do that. You want to attack his leverage. The whole reason that a DB would be lined up inside shade, outside shade, is to protect that specific leverage. So he's inside shade. Let's say he's lined up inside of me right here. His goal is to force me outside. He wants me to go outside. That's where his help is, and the help would be considered the sideline. He doesn't have safety help. You're going to see this a lot in man coverage, okay? So what you want to do is his job is to protect the inside. So you would want to attack him, because if you attack him, what's that going to do? He's going to keep his leverage. He's taught, I'm not giving up the slant. I'm not giving up an inside release, so he's going to keep his leverage. And when you get him to keep his leverage, what does that do? That creates open grass for yourself. That creates space for yourself to be able to work back to the outside and have the quarterback throw you open, right? So that's what we're going to be doing here. So you're going to have these 3 cones lined up. And so the first cone, like again, if you can't see it, we got these 3 cones lined up right here. First cone, you're going to square up the cone. You're not going to make a move. Then the second cone, you're going to square up the cone and make a double up move, okay? So what you're going to do, we're lining up here. First cone, our goal is to slide to it. So we want to be lined up here. You want to push off the back foot, reach with your front foot and attack. Reset, push here, come to balance, 1, 2, head down, burst up like we're going to be catching a fade route, okay? I'm going to show you this thing's going to look full speed. Great release to work and great drill to work on this specific release. When you have an inside shade DB, you have to square him up, attack his leverage, and make a move, then go. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all on any of these drills, on anything wide receiver specific, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, fellas, if you guys are local to one of the 9 cities that we are going to be traveling to this offseason, Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, and Los Angeles, California, you want to come out and get some great work in with myself, with the team that I'm going to be bringing out of coaches with Division I and NFL experience, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out to one of our events. I'll see you guys next time.